I've come to the woods. There's a weather warning, so why don't we go camping? No tent, we've got a sleeping bag. Let's build a shelter. Hello there! As you can see behind me, the streams that used to be this deep are flooding. We're just making our way through the woods, trying to get deeper, and I know that there's a section of this woods a little bit up north that is typically more fir trees, so you got a lot more spruce up there, meaning there's going to be a whole lot less bog. Like down here, you might be able to see on the ground, I'm literally walking through trenches. I'm looking out for silver birch just behind me. Got some silver birch over here, so we're going to go collect some of that bark because that is perfect for making a fire, especially in harsh conditions like this. So when the paths are starting to look a little bit more like riverways, that's when you know it's the perfect time to come camping. Look at this path. Kind of a bit more like a river than a path at the minute. Should have bought a boat. We've just seen a vole run away. We're about to jump over this little river here, this little stream, and just over here, we ran into the bush. So this weather's clearly bringing out a lot of wildlife because I've already seen deer, and they know not many humans are going to be around. So let's make this jump without trying to have a little bath. Looks like right side is going to be a little bit better because there's a lot more evergreen trees over there, meaning fir, and that's going to give us a lot more cover. We've made it to a more desirable area to set up camp. The ground's a lot less waterlogged, and these trees, they're evergreen. So essentially they'll hold their leaves all year round, through summer, through winter. And that's really good for us, especially in weather like this. It will provide shelter for not only me, but the fire as well. And that's going to keep us warm tonight. So although deforestation is bad in a lot of cases, tonight it's actually going to benefit me because there's a whole lot of big timber cut down that would be perfect for building a shelter. It's not necessarily going to be good firewood because it's been laid on the floor. It's going to be soaking up all that moisture, but in terms of building a shelter itself, I'll take plenty of use of that tonight. What I'm looking for is a similar forest to what we're in now, where we have a cluster of trees together, which we can use to our advantage by stringing up some sticks in between, creating a really sturdy shelter. So if the winds pick up, we have a good base. Or alternatively, as a second option, where big trees fall down, they often bring up these massive root balls, and they're like these big circular walls where the tree's roots have come away with the tree as it's falling down and brought up the whole base of the tree, creating a really nice wall that we won't have to build. And that's just one less thing to do if we can find one of them. We're going to try and set up base as soon as possible, collect some water so we can actually stay hydrated, because we don't want to do a Bear Grylls. And then we also want to set up a good fire, because it's going to be a hard one setting up a fire in this condition, especially, well, not only getting it going but keeping it going. Like a tree nearly just tried to take me out. Oh, this is a really good section. Fucking funny that. It's tripped us. Thank you, tree. Oi, mate. Fucking, oi, legend, oi. I think it's just told it. I think the tree's just like, mate, this actually couldn't be any more perfect. I'm pretty sure that tree literally just fucking told me, mate, fucking, you're gonna wanna fucking slow down here, mate. Not only have we got firs creating our shelter, natural shelter. We've got plenty timber around. Silver birch, actually. I don't know if that's silver birch, but it's definitely birch. And even exactly what we were describing. Not as big as typically they are, but that's the root wall that I was explaining earlier. Right, I'm gonna be honest, I'm spoilt for choice. I've just been tripped up by a tree, told me, "Oh mate, slow down." So I did, listened. Trees are a lot older and wiser, mate, listen out. So, not only did we find that spot where we literally got tripped up, we found another spot, which I'll show you, but then we've got another candidate, which I really like. We've got this, we've got all this canopy protecting us. So if we walk in here, it's kind of like a rectangle, sort of, and then we can clear all these branches out, string up a top in between these two, or in between these 4 trees. That gives us a nice shelter space, plus the protection from the firs anyway, and then good enough amount of room for a fire. Wind sort of protected. We can even line up logs all along the trees to create that windbreak. So this is honestly the perfect sort of environment we're looking for. It's flat, it's kind of uphill, so all the water is going to be down this end, just the other side of these this tree line here. Let's get building. We've done it. Not only have we set up shelter, but we've also solved a water problem at the same time. All the water is going to funnel down from the trees, from the rain, onto the top. It's not going to be so clean, but rainwater is rainwater. It's all going to gather and then it's dripping off the end there, which will make a nice little tap. So not only have we got a tarp, a shelter, we've also got running water, eh? So I'm a plumber and a builder at this point. We're gonna clean out all below. So we need to get a bed sorted. I'm fighting between making a bed and a fire, but I think we've got enough light left in the day. Yeah, actually scrap that. We're gonna get loads of timber, so get a bunch of logs that we'll be able to use, not only for the fire, but for the bed. But as we have the light and it goes down quite quick, at around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, this time of year, yeah, we best make use of the daylight. So we're gonna get a bunch of wood and then we're just gonna bundle it here. That way I've got a light in my bag, and worst comes to worst, it gets dark and we're still building, but at least we have that wood and we don't have to go foraging around in the dark. We're gonna try and utilize the dead wood because we don't really want to be chopping down live trees. So as you can see here, this one here, she's dead. I bet you if I give her a push, she'll come straight over for me. Now, because that's been standing, it's more likely that the wood inside will be dry, but what I'm finding, it's actually quite damp, just because the top of this tree is being exposed like that, where the top of it's come off, so it's been open, so the rainwater's just been tunneled in, so it's not going to really be any use of us. Maybe some bed timber. Look, a frog. Where is he? There he is. Pretty sure I could hear some rustling or something. I'll just go take a step. This little guy jumps out. Let me show him to you. Here's a little fella. Hey, you're all right, mate. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you. Hey. Hello, mates. I'm not going to hurt you. Hey. I'm your friend. I'm just camping over to the left, mate. You're welcome to come by for a drink of... Oh, careful, mate. Where are you going, mate? Now, what did I say about wildlife coming out when it's all damp and wet? Now we've found this little guy. What should we call him? Hey? Fuck, he's gone. Houdini. I actually don't know where he's gone. Now, after that lovely encounter with Houdini, we're going to get back to work because we don't know how much light we've got left. We've got a bunch of wood, but we need a fuck ton more and start making a fire. Now what you'll notice is these bits of wood that I'm cutting up, they're all different diameters. And you might think, okay, so if I'm using this for a bed, that might be uncomfortable because it's all uneven. But what we're going to do is we can grab this sort of, cut a bunch of these off and actually kind of like a bushcraft mattress. And I've also got animal hide as well from a sheep. So we'll put that on top of that, and it's going to make a nice cushioned platform. And it's not really relevant if these are the same diameter or not. As long as they're all the same length, that's really fine. It is just turning 2, so that means it's taken us about 2 hours to find a good base camp, set up our tarp, and then collect a bunch of wood. Now we really need to start thinking about fire, because if it's turning 2 o'clock, we only have really 1 hour left of sunlight. But with this weather, in this sort of environment as well, it's going to get much darker much sooner than it would if you were out in open space. Right, let's see if we can get a fire going. We've got a bunch of tinder, which is soaking wet, but I've got a couple of things that I brought with me that might help me get this alight. Because without fire, I don't think we're making it tonight. So, it's all collected just now, not from the floor, but from dead limbs hanging from trees, and that's going to ensure we get the driest wood that we can out of this forest, because as you can see, there's nowhere that's actually that dry at the minute. So you see that sound where it's like that nice clean break? That's what you're looking for, because that tells you if there's that snap inside of the wood, that means it's not all gone soggy yet. And when it goes soggy, it doesn't really have that that classic break sound that you can hear, because it's when it's dry, it's more brittle, and that's the stuff we want. This is good wood. It's just soaked. So if we clean a nice space here, what we want to do is we want to grab some bigger logs and put them here, essentially like this, and it acts as a raft to keep that initial fire off of the wet ground. Before we start, actually, what we can do is we can take some of the logs, put our axe in the top and split them down the middle, and that will expose the insides of the wood, of the log, and that's going to be the driest bit, so that'll be easier. So we're gonna do everything in our power to help this fire actually get started. We're becoming full-time lumberjack here. Deal with that. Showtime. We've got a flint and steel with some shavings in there. Now, essentially what we're about to do with the fletchings that we've just chopped down, we're gonna make feather sticks. Moving around here. So I keep on trying to film, but apparently I've run out of storage, so I'm not sure how much of this trip I'm actually going to film. But as you can see, we've got a fire going using Luke from Outdoor Boys' trick of Vaseline and cotton. We used a little flint and steel, and we've got our bed. We're going to collect some fur from the trees, make a little mattress, set up a sleeping bag. But that is pretty much everything achieved at the minute. I didn't know if we'd get the shelter up in time of light, let alone a bed and fire. This fire was really concerning me because there's a weather warning right now of how much rain there is, and everywhere in this forest is flooded. There's not one piece of wood that's dry, so it was really hard getting this going. But as you can see, she's alive. We've got plenty timber. We're going to carry on cutting, and we're going to line all the wet logs around the fire so that they start to dry out. And I actually should build a wall there so it reflects the heat back into my shelter this evening. Right, so I don't know how much you can see at the minute, but it's pitch black dark. It's about 5:30 p.m. So I'm just about to cook dinner, but literally everything's set up. I've got the pine on the bed, so the bed's complete. I've got loads of firewood. I've got the firewall set up, so the heat's sort of rebounding back into the shelter. Basically, I've done everything I wanted to. So this is base camp at the minute. We've got all our firewood. We've got the wall that we've built to reflect the heat. Got a lovely campfire going. And then obviously the tarps up here. Nice. Got everything drying out, and then we're in bed. Got the suspended wooden bed here. So all that heat from that fire is going underneath and coming up all through my sleeping bag. And I'm just chilling in bed now. So there's not going to be any more updates until the morning, and my storage is still fucked. So hopefully I'm going to clear a few things, and then I can show you the full setup in daylight. Time to show you the shelter that got me through a rainstorm with no tent, and just quickly put up in 2 hours. So it's a very simple shelter. I've just strung up the tarp to 4 trees. It's a perfect rectangle actually. Really lucky find. And then very simple bed, easy bed to make too, but it worked out perfectly. I slept all night. It's literally a sleeping bag. If I pull that back, you'll be able to see sheepskin, lined it with fur, which really took out those differences in height. And it's just a wooden bed that's suspended off the floor with a little wall that I built to reflect the heat of the fire. We could also dry out all the wood that we cut down because it was soaking wet. But you can see that the bed's suspended off the floor, just so it keeps us off the cold, and then allows for a little bit of heat to run on under and warm us up. But it's a very basic, simple shelter, and that worked out perfectly. I didn't need anything more extravagant. I could stay here quite happily. If I had the water and I had the food, I'd be a very happy guy. I'd make a few additions on the bed, maybe make it a little bit more comfy, just add a little bit more padding in some of the areas, but no, it worked out perfectly, and I'm happy with how it went, especially the first time ever doing this without a tent. So we're gonna pack up our shelter, pack up our things, and then have a little walk back. We've packed up camp, and now all there is to do is get out of the woods and drive home. So I appreciate you all joining me. Oh shit, I didn't say goodbye to Houdini.